Good evening, class 11. Welcome to online education class. In the last class, we have discussed the definition of non-formal education, and we have seen that it is really different from formal education and informal education. And how it is different in the definition of J.P. Nayak, we have seen that the non-formal education is different from formal education in the way that it is not examination oriented and it is out of the boundary of the school. The non-formal system of education is conducted out of the boundary of the school, isn't it? And in case of informal education we have seen that it is incidental in nature and suddenly it is occurring, the learning is taken place from the experience. But in case of non-formal education, it is not like that. It is different from incidental education and it is a little bit organized. So today we will start with the discussion, the characteristics of the informal education. Number one, less control on educational factor. It is obvious as the environment, the school building, the teachers, the rigid rules and regulations which are to be followed, compulsory dress, all these factors are not there in non-formal system of education, as we have learned that it is organized out of the boundary of the school. So there are less control on educational factors. Educational factors, what are the educational factors of education we have read? The teacher, the student, the school and the curriculum. So there's a fixed curriculum that have to be followed. There's a school building. There's some serious table, chairs and benches. All that factors are there. But in case of non-formal education, these all are not happening because the entire process is conducted out of the boundary of the school. Number two, duration of learning is throughout life. Now see, if any one of you are engaged in music or dance or recitation or drawing or any craft, any co-curricular, any sports, any activity you are engaged, you will see that you can start the learning at any age of you wish, isn't it? So duration of life, and you can continue your learning. There is no end to learn, isn't it? There's no end in learning. So how you improve yourself, for how many years, it depends on you. But you cannot stay in a school for 20 to 30 years, isn't it? That is not possible. So there's fixed rules and regulations and a fixed duration in case of formal education, which is here. In case of that, you can enter anytime and you can leave also anytime, and no such durations that much period of time you have to continue. Number three, satisfying the need of the individual. It is also true. See, as we have in the some 2 or 3 classes ago, we have discussed the limitation of the school, and we have seen that it is basically dependent on examination and evaluation, and it is not satisfying the need of the individual. But if the individual or the student is willing to learn something more, willing to know something about a special topic which he is a follower, that is possible only with the help of non-formal education. Suppose I like music, I like art and craft, I may like dance, I may like recitation, I may like reading, studying, anything I can love, I can like. But all the purpose, all the liking and disliking is not possible for the school to provide you, isn't it? So thus through the informal system of through the help of non-formal education, we are learning different sorts of things, different topics about different spheres of our life, which is satisfying our own need or which is satisfying our will. Next point, less expensive in nature. It is very obvious. See, I should not say that it is less expensive in nature, because how you learn, what you learn and where you learn is very important. Nowadays everything is expensive, nothing is less expensive. If you put your expenditure for any drawing, for any craft, for any music, there is expenditure. But obviously for higher studies, it is, in comparison to higher studies, it is less expensive in nature. If you go further for your studies, for your masters or your college and everything all, you will see the price of the books are too much. The process of education throughout the year, there is a fixed expenditure we have, which is you are bound to follow. So formal education, informal education and non-formal education, among these three, formal education is most expensive. Highest expenditure is in case of formal education. But in case of non-formal education, you will see that, sorry, I have written informal education, it will be non-formal education. Non-formal education. So, in case of non-formal education, it is less expensive in nature. Yes. Next is number 5, characteristics helps to receive higher form of learning. See, when you are learning something, if you put your heart in it, you will see you are upgrading yourself slowly and you are knowing more about it. Not only about any non-formal education, anything in your life, if you put your interest to it, you will see further, you are learning more about it, you are knowing more about it, and that is providing you with higher knowledge or higher thought of studies, because it is helping you to know the higher form of that particular topic, what you want to know and what you want to improve basically. So it is helping you to receive higher form of education. Means when you are knowing particular a color, if you know how to apply, what to apply, and then you are learning what color you have to mix with that to make it a separate color, then you are learning how to apply it in a different types of paper and how to bring different shades from it. So when you are concentrating on a particular topic or a particular subject, you are showing your interest to know about it more and more, you will see that you are getting higher form of the learning of that particular topic. Next is group activity is always encouraged. That is a very truth. When you are doing something in a group activity, when you are participating somewhere, when you are that is also encouraged in school. I must say that group activity nowadays are different types of projects and different type of activity you are doing. You are performing your drama performance, your music performance, dance performance, whatever you are performing it in a group activity. That is also encouraged in formal education. But in case of non-formal education, the emphasis is given more on group activity, because they are making a group to create something, and they are representing their own group to the others, and that way the group activity is encouraged in case of non-formal education. Next is age and eligibility is not considered. It is also truth, as I have told you, that learning something at any age is possible, which is not possible in case of formal education. So whatever you are learning, whenever you are willing to learn, you can start your learning. So we say it that there's no age of learning. Means you can learn, you can start your learning at any age. At whenever you feel interested about something, you start learning that. So age and eligibility is not considered. In case of formal education, we have to follow the age, isn't it? And eligibility. In the very beginning, you cannot start with class 11. You have acquired, you have passed, secured marks of class 10, and then you have come to class 11, isn't it? Like that, when you are in class 2, you have passed from class 1 and then you are promoted to class 2. Like that, class 3, 4 and 5 and so on. So in case of formal education, there's a fix age and eligibility rules. But in case of non-formal education, there is no such rules and regulations. Another characteristics we will say that it is not examination oriented. You may can give examination, but the flexibility is there in case of non-formal education. If you were willing to give examination, you can, and if you are not, you can leave it and you can learn it with fun. See, as I have told you in the previous class, that whenever you think of examination, your palpitation starts, isn't it? From inside, you start means getting tense. You become tensed, isn't it? And you feel like, oh, what will happen, how to manage everything and like that. So when something you are learning from your heart, something when you are learning from your will, and there's no such pressure, it automatically takes place in your heart, which happens that that is why it is not examination oriented, and it is not putting you under any pressure, and you are learning it with fun. Finally, person with enough knowledge can teach. See, in case of formal education, you should know that the teachers, those who are appointed in schools and colleges, they are with some qualities of teaching, and they have to pursue some special qualifications, like they have to earn B.Ed or teachers training to perform their own activities, isn't it? They should be a little bit trained. Special professional training they must get. But in case of non-formal education, you will see that not always, suppose music teacher or drawing teacher you have seen, maybe they have never learned drawing or music, but they are excellent in an excellent way, in a proper way, as they know, they are equipped with knowledge. They are able of teaching drawing, they are able of teaching music, they are able of teaching due to hearing, due to seeing. They have never got any particular degree on that particular topic what they are teaching, but they have become the teacher of the subject because they know more. They have learned from themselves, but no such formal training and teachings are provided to them. So these are all the characteristics of non-formal education. In the next class, I think we will start with we will start with different types of non-formal education. So thank you for today. Go through the book. The same points are given and discussed. And next day we will start with types of non-formal institute. Thank you.